And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Ryan Christopherson, who writes, well, it looks like sites like Deadline and The Wrap are reporting that Leslie Grace will be portraying Batgirl in the upcoming DC movie. I loved her in The Heights, and I know you feel the same. So what are your thoughts on the casting? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember exactly, that Robert and I talked about on this show that it looked like the upcoming HBO Max Batgirl movie, a feature film they're doing on Batgirl that was going to go straight to HBO Max, that it looked like they had narrowed it down to 2 finalists. And one of those finalists was Leslie Grace from In the Heights. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this or not. I loved In the Heights. It wasn't a movie I was super stoked about. I mean, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I love Hamilton, but I love Hamilton. That doesn't mean I'm going to love everything that Lin-Manuel does. So I only went because Anne really wanted to go see it. So I go with Anne to see it, and when the movie was over, I got up and started dancing in the aisle. I mean, I just thought it was fantastic. And Leslie Grace for me in that movie was an absolute revelation. Not just her acting, but her singing and her beauty and everything about the way she carried herself on screen. I loved it. Now, I didn't say she would be my pick to play Batgirl because I haven't read the script. I don't know if she's a good fit for Batgirl or not. I just will leave that to the director and the casting people. But I did know I was interested in seeing her playing the role if it came down to her. And now it looks like she is the one who's going to play Batgirl. This comes to us from the folks over at Screen Rant, who writes, Warner Brothers Batgirl movie cast In the Heights star Leslie Grace as Barbara Gordon, better known as the titular superhero. In the Heights star is an accomplished recording artist, landing multiple Latin Grammy Award nominations before she wowed audiences as Nina in the film version of Lin-Manuel Miranda's hit Broadway musical. Recently, it was reported that Grace was in the running for the role alongside Haley Lou Richardson, the star of 2017's Columbus. So then, again, there we have it. Leslie Grace has got the role. And listen, what I always say about this stuff when it comes to casting X actor in X role is like, all I want to know is that they get a talented performer for the role. That's all I care about. I loved her in the Heights. She's talented. She can carry something. And so I'll tell you what, I am all about this. Aaron, you take a look at this. And, you know, for a lot of people, Leslie is an unknown name to a lot of people, understandably so. But you heard that she's now getting that big superhero break, even though it's going to be for HBO Max. But what do you think of the casting and what do you think of her in general?
Well, like you said, when you have incredible talent, it's really hard to go wrong. Um, that's one of the things also, yes, someone may say, I don't necessarily know that because I like one thing that Lin-Manuel Miranda does that I may not like another. And I get that. But one of the things that Lin-Manuel Miranda does so beautifully is he finds incredible talent and he elevates it. He could have, with a movie like this, he could have listened to what the studio probably wanted, which was, already famous actors, already famous. And he's like, dude, you don't need them. You don't need them. You have me. I'm Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm all the name you need. I'm the biggest, hottest name like in Hollywood right now, which is true. So you go off my name, you go off the success of my show, Hamilton, and then we cast people who are Tony Award winners, Grammy Award winners, performers that have not yet gotten the one thing that's just going to pop them over the edge. You see it in Anthony Ramos, you see it in Corey Hawkins. These actors have been working consistently, but all they need is that one movie that then is going to make them go, oh, that's just going to pop it over the edge and get them the next job that's going to make them household names. And that is what we're seeing for her right now. And I'm very excited to see what she does with this role. And what we talked about before is when you have talent that elevates the superhero or the comic book genre in the past, where we've had, really, really talented actors who are award-winning say, oh, well, that's kind of beneath me. And now it's like, no, this is what you want to be doing. I think it's really great, not just for her, but also for the entire comic book genre to have great talent attached.
It's always the first and best start. Anyway, Kim, you hear about this casting. What did you think about it?
You know what? Good for her. I think honestly, when I saw her in the Heights, I was like, I like her for a Disney princess. Like
Oh, that
that
could have worked too.
smile,
Yeah.
that voice of hers, that crystal clear. Like she's one of those voices that when she hits that note, it makes you like get the chills down your spine a little. I loved her, but I'm like, what version are we getting of the character? Because it seems like we need some grit in there. So that's my only concern is I'm like, you look very Disney Channel, but it makes me think of Vanessa Hudgens and like she was so Disney, High School Musical, and then she started doing some really gritty stuff, and I was like, okay, not the most amazing movies ever, but in terms of just changing
Did you
the
see her in
direction.
Polar with Mads Mikkelsen? Vanessa Hudgens in Polar. Not a ton of people saw it, but she was great, like very gritty, and that you're right, that's not how people traditionally saw her.
Well,
Nope,
look at
they
Amy
didn't, and she did a
Adams.
good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy Adams, and she was not Disney, but well, yeah, Disney, yeah.
Yeah, she was Ella Enchanted, and then she went and did Sharp Objects. You can't get more different than that. So that's a really good point, Kimberly.
So I say give the girl a chance, and I like the directors. What is it, Falal and Bilal? Is that
I
it?
didn't see
The
their
two
previous thing, so I wasn't
guys,
really aware.
I loved Bad Boys for Life. I thought it was fun. I thought it was also, it brought the grit, it brought the toughness, the action was great. And so I feel like the film is in good hands, and I feel like, you know what? Good for you, girl. You bring it. You show us what you can do. I don't think we should judge and just go, oh, well, she's just the cute singer girl, because that thought popped into my head. But then I thought, you know what? Some cute girls have been really badass. And so I'm going to give her a chance, and I really trust the directors with this.
Yeah, and don't forget, like when thinking, you don't want to judge them too much on like one or two like what they sort of portrayed, because don't forget, the guys that Kevin Feige got to come in and do Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame were the directors of You, Me, and Dupree. And, but they knew that these were the guys that could do this because they saw the stuff behind the scenes. Anyway, the question is for you.
And the director of Joker, and sorry to interrupt you, John, and the director of Joker also directed Road Trip. So
yes,
there you go.
So
I do have a question for you, John. And not to take us off in a different direction, but I'm curious about something. For those of us who are not super connected to the world of comics and don't know the history of everything, we have Batgirl and we have Batwoman.
Two separate characters.
Right. Yeah. But is that a common theme? Like, is there a Superboy somewhere that I don't know about?
Yep. Oh yeah,
Okay.
Oh yeah, the comics have Superboy, and they have like 8 different versions of Superman, and they have and generally speaking, look, I'm not, from a creative point of view, I'm generally not a fan of derivative characters. Like, you got Batman, you got to have Batgirl. You have Superman, you got to have Superboy. You got to have Flash, you have Kid Flash. You have Hulk, you have She-Hulk. I'm normally not a big fan of the idea. Not that I don't think the characters themselves can be great. I just don't like that kind of notion of derivative characters. But, right now with the directors of Bad Boys for Life, which was way better than I thought it was going to be, with the girl from In the Heights, which she was fantastic in that, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, so we'll see where they go. Anyway, the question is for you guys. What do you think about this? That they have gotten one of the stars of In the Heights to be the lead, to be Barbara Gordon in Batgirl for HBO Max's Batgirl film. Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.